Did I just get in the best fingerboard trucks of 2024 for under $20? In this video, I'm going to be opening these up and trying them out on one of my older setups, doing a bit of an upgrade to it. And these are the Teak Tuning Prodigy Pro Gen 2 trucks with the inverted Kingpin option. The inverted Kingpin option is an extra $5, but as you can see here, it comes with the Gen 2 Prodigy Pro trucks with the standard Kingpin, as well as the additional base plates and the inverted Kingpin. So you actually get an extra set of base plates when you buy it with this option. And these are going to be replacing the Gen 1 Prodigy Pro trucks. These I had on this setup for at least 6 months, and I finally broke the axles on one of the pair of trucks, doing a huge drop, which I definitely don't recommend doing huge drops on any higher end fingerboard trucks just because they're kind of expensive and it's really easy to break the truck axles or strip out the bolts. So if you do plan on doing that stuff, I usually use a tech deck from now on just because I found out too many times that they end up breaking the axles or stripping out the nuts or the bolts. One of the upgrades to the Gen 2 trucks is the included built-in pivot cup, which I'm just putting in these base plates with the inverted Kingpin. And they also come on the standard Kingpin option as well. With the pivot cups in, I'm going to go ahead and install the base plates onto the board. To install new trucks on a board, I always like to put one screw in the board and just get it so the threads barely stick out and get it started on the base plate. And once I've got the one screw at least started, I like to get the other screw on the opposite corner started as well. And the first thing that I noticed with these trucks is that the base plates actually thread on a lot easier than the prior generation of Prodigy Pro trucks. In fact, some of the Prodigy Pro truck Gen 1 were almost impossible to screw in with the smaller screwdriver. I had to use a larger screwdriver that had more leverage. But for the most part, these went in pretty easy. And I found that if it kind of got hung up at the very end here, I just went back and forth a few times and it went all the way in and nice and flush. With the new base plates on the board, all that's left to do is install the hangers from the other set of trucks. I'm going to go ahead and take these off the base plates with the standard Kingpin. And these come standard with a O-ring or donut style bushing with the washers on the top and bottom, which I'm not the hugest fan of, and I'm going to go ahead and swap them out for Teak Tuning's bubble style bushings. And I like these a little bit more. They seem like they're a little bit more squishy and more responsive. And I tend to just put the bubble bushing first, then the hangers, another bubble bushing. And with these trucks, I'm going to go ahead and install both of the washers on the bottom of the Kingpin. Putting the two washers on the bottom of the Kingpin like this raises up the hanger, and it gives the hanger a little bit more clearance from the bolt for doing grinds. And you can also run this setup with one washer on the bottom for the extra clearance and make them not as firm. Or if you like loose trucks, you could also run the setup without the washers at all. The inverted Kingpin went in super easy, and I like that the Kingpin had a bunch of threads that actually go into the base plate, so it is super secure. I ended up going with the raw metal option for the trucks, and one thing that I noticed is that the hangers on these have the raw finish as well as the standard base plates, but then the inverted base plates are actually a shiny base plate, so they don't match, which it doesn't look too bad, but it would be a little bit nicer and look a little bit cleaner in my opinion if both of them matched. Overall, I think these trucks look pretty sleek all put together, and I like that the base plates are a really clean, kind of squared off, more modern design, and the base plates are also super simple and they kind of match the simple hangers. And you can see the Gen 1 versus the Gen 2 on the right. The base plates are more squared on the new ones versus kind of like an indented one. Also, the Gen 1 trucks did not have built-in pivot cups, and it made the hangers wiggly and kind of feel on the cheaper side. For the wheels on the setup, I'm going to be using some urethane 60 durometer abstract wheels from Redemption Fingerboards. I've been really liking these wheels from Redemption Fingerboards, and I have them on another setup that I've been using a lot. And this is not sponsored in any way by Redemption Fingerboards. I just like the wheels a lot, and I definitely recommend checking them out. And that being said, I did actually get these wheels for free, and it was part of a deal day or a sale that they were having. I found out about it on their Instagram, so I definitely recommend checking out their Instagram and following them for future sales, just because it was such a good deal. I ended up buying one set of their abstract wheels, and I got a second pair for free. All 4 of the lock nuts went on nice and easy. And the other thing that I noticed is that all of the kind of spacing or the tolerance on the actual axles is a lot better than previous versions of the trucks. And the older trucks, it seemed like they had a lot more variance in how much they wiggle on each side. And if they brake as well, they kind of wiggle back and forth like this one did. But before this one did, they were both a little bit off, where one had a little bit more wiggle room. But overall, these have a lot closer tolerance to what I would consider like dynamics have. And it makes everything when doing tricks feel a lot more solid by having the wheels not wiggle as much. Overall, the biggest upgrade to these trucks is going to be the amount of clearance that the Kingpins have when doing grinds. And sitting flat on the bar, like a 50-50 grind, has plenty of clearance, as well as doing more dipped grinds. And overall, there is just a lot of clearance with these trucks. And compared to dynamics, on the bar flat, they have clearance, but then when going to more of a dipped grind, the Kingpin can come into contact, and it either forces you to lock in on the bar, or it'll have the Kingpin kind of catch. So overall, for Kingpin clearance, the Gen 2 trucks actually have a little bit more than the dynamics do. And in comparison to the Gen 1 Prodigy Pro trucks, it's a huge improvement. Even going flat on a 50-50, the Gen 1 trucks would kind of catch on the Kingpins, just because the hangers sit lower. These are also the new Gen 2 trucks with the standard Kingpin, and they also got a huge upgrade as far as the amount of clearance they have. And you can do 50-50 grinds with a lot more clearance. The only fingerboard trucks that I have used so far that have more clearance and a standard Kingpin is going to be Black River 2.0 or 3.0 trucks. But keep in mind they also sit up a little bit higher. Overall, I really like how these trucks sound when doing grinds, as well as the way that they look and feel. I think the raw finish on them gives them a really nice feel when doing grinds. It's a lot smoother, and it's very similar to BRTs. Once I get a little bit more time to durability test these trucks, I want to do a full in-depth comparison of these trucks versus Dynamics, BRTs, Obvious FB. And if you have any other trucks that you want to see me try on the channel in the near future, let me know that in the comments down below. But overall, my first impressions of these trucks is that they are very good, and I would highly recommend them to anybody that would like a nicer pair of trucks but does not want to spend the full amount of $40 to $70 for Dynamics, BRTs, or Obvious fingerboard trucks. If you do end up buying anything from teaktuning.com, you can use the code STICKYFB for 10% off of your order. Thanks so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button as well as subscribe for more videos. Until next time, peace.